Although the aquarium serves as a comfortable environment for families to visit and make memorable moments with their children, the detrimental impacts of the aquarium to animals still remains as a severe affliction. While marine life captivity proponents argue that aquariums can be used for species preservation, critiques assert that captivity of aquariums violates animal welfare. This leaves the general American public, along with aquarium companies, to the inquiry that to what extent should aquariums be limited to preserve animal welfare while making profit. Answering this question, aquariums should be banned from public spaces due to their detrimental impacts on animal welfare, supported by provision of limited space in which feel negative psychological effects to marine animals and potential occurrence of harm to aquarium trainers, fueled by continual exposure to stress. Admittedly, captivity of marine life might serve as a purpose to species preservation. According to Marine Bio, breeding programs in aquariums and marine can help maintain and increase the population of threatened species, providing a controlled environment where reproduction and the survival of offspring can be closely monitored. This indicates that not only aquariums play a crucial role in maintaining the security of endangered marine lives, such as polar bears and penguins fueled by global warming, but also serves as a safe place for animals to reproduce with abundant source of food, suggesting its contribution to the augmentation of genetic biodiversity of marine life species. However, this point is strongly invalidated by the argument that aquariums fuel detrimental impacts on animal welfare. For example, according to Marine Bio, confining animal creatures in synthetic surroundings can lead to stress, reduced lifespan, and behavioral abnormalities, emphasizing that synthetic confinements are significantly smaller than their natural habitats. The conclusion driven from the article is validated through statistical data from Animal Australia, which indicates that polar bears who were supposed to swim from 74 kilometers to 99 kilometers were confined in narrow, captive areas from SeaWorld Australia. The two findings from the study efficiently invalidates the positivity of aquariums previously mentioned because the discovery showing of insecurity in animal welfare fostered from confined preservation of marine life signify that the intention of the captivity does not match with the expected results. Ironically, the captivity that is designated to benefit confined animals through species preservation is detrimentally impacting on their animal welfare due to its limited provision of space, fueled by its financial feasibility. Due to the increased distress in which marine lives conceive due to myopic captivity, the captivity not only detrimentally affects aquatic life's welfare, but also that of trainers as well, highlighting the human cost of fantastic aquatic performance.
But the fanfare could do little to mask what happened here in February 2010 when the 6-ton orca dragged 40-year-old trainer Dawn Branchot to her death in front of a group of horrified onlookers.
We actually have a trainer in the water with one of our whales, the whale that they're not supposed to be in the water with.
And these periods he was taken down were pretty close to the mark. Minute 20. When he was at the surface, he didn't panic, he didn't thrash, he didn't scream. Maybe he's just built that way, but he stroked the whale. Ken Peters pulled himself over the float line and swam like a demon to a slide out because the whale was coming right behind him. The whale jumped over and came right after him. He tried to stand up and run. Of course, his feet were damaged and they just fell and he scrambled.
Seen from this, the elevation of belligerence of orcas significantly increased to their trainers, a characteristic that is attributed to the psychological stress they confront from the confined environment. According to Animals Australia, several aquariums in the UK had animals displaying abnormal behaviors, including circling, head bobbing, spiraling swimming patterns, and repeatedly touching glass barriers. The data's emphasis on the occurrence of abnormal behaviors indicates that aquatic marine animals, heavily impacted by the pasturing environment of confinement, display unusual behaviors that are not present in their wildlife, suggesting that the detrimental psychological impacts driven from captivity are clearly visible. Due to this incurring belligerence, the first case of trainer death fueled by environmental distressment was a historical phenomenon since 1971. According to Melissa Thornberry, a young orca trainer, Jill Stratton drowned into a tank by an orca at the San Diego park, clearly synthesizing a corresponding relation between animal abnormalities of behavior, including augmented aggression and the presence of confinement. Drawn from these findings, it is validated to say that due to the detrimental impacts of both animals' and humans' welfare, essentially driven by the increased level of aggression due to confinement, aquariums should be banned from public spaces. Closing this, let's be reminded that perspective is always relative. While a kid might be watching a dolphin with curiosity, the kid would never know the growing hatred of dolphins to him and others who have confined his free will and autonomy.